Hello, sixth grade, and welcome to sixth grade social studies. First of all, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry that I couldn't be here in person for the first couple of days of school. I will hopefully be back on Monday, but I do want to share with you some of my expectations that I have for you in my social studies classroom for this year. First of all, before I dig into my classroom expectations, the first question that I have for you is, which GIF summarizes how you feel about your first week of sixth grade? Is it GIF number 1? Is it GIF number 2? GIF number 3? GIF number 4? Or GIF number 5? At this time, your substitute will pause this video and then you'll share which GIF summarizes your first couple days of sixth grade. All right, first of all, I just want to tell a little bit about myself before I go over classroom expectations. I grew up on the other side of Iowa in a very small town called Dike, Iowa. And a little bit about my educational background. I first got my associate's degree from Ellsworth Community College. That's over in Iowa Falls. And then I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Northern Iowa, aka UNI in Cedar Falls. And then just a couple of years ago, I finished up my master's program from Dordt University in Sioux Center. This is my 9th year of teaching. All 9 years that I have taught have been here at Storm Lake Middle School. Outside of school, when I'm not working, some of my favorite hobbies include exercising, whether it's going on my elliptical or going on walks. I also really enjoy watching a variety of different movies and TV shows. And then I also really like to spend quality time with my family and with friends. And I also enjoy watching different sporting events, especially college and professional football and college basketball. And I also like being outdoors, whether it's doing work projects or going on walks or any outdoor activity in general, like disc golf. Here's a couple pictures of my family. The picture on the left is who all lives in my house with me. This is my wife, Rebecca, and she is also a teacher. She teaches preschool at Alta Aurelia Community Schools. And then this is our dog, Tucker. He is a 3.5-year-old miniature golden doodle who lives with us and keeps us busy. And then the picture on the right is the picture of the rest of my immediate family. So you can see my wife and I. And then this is my brother, Zach, and his wife, Jenny. They just got married over this past summer, and so we were really excited to celebrate that. And then the people on the right are my mom and dad. All right, now, first of all, before I go over directions, I do want to say that I really hope that we have an awesome school year together. I firmly believe that each and every single one of you are very capable of making good choices, and if you do so, we are going to have a blast this school year. That being said, I do believe that in these first couple days of school, it is important that you understand what my expectations are in the classroom. Now, first of all, I want to talk about entering the classrooms. Obviously, I'm not here in person today, but when I do come back on Monday, on a typical day of school, when you enter the classroom, I will have directions that will be posted on the TV screen. And what you are expected to do when you enter the classroom is you need to sit in your assigned seat, you need to complete those directions that I have posted, and then wait for further instructions quietly. I will also have a 3-minute timer on the TV screen, and you're expected to be in the classroom in your assigned seat when the timer goes off. Otherwise, you will be counted as tardy. All right, some other classroom expectations is I teach where there are no distractions or other problems. At this time, I'm going to have your substitute teacher pause the video and have a discussion with the class. What are some things in the classroom that can cause distractions or other problems? I hope you had a good discussion with that. My next expectation that I want to share with you is I listen to students who raise their hands one person at a time. Pretty self-explanatory. Next off, please treat me with the same respect that I treat you. I will do my very best to give you, each and every one of you, utmost respect. I'm not going to judge you based on what your background is or anything like that. I will do the best I can to treat you with utmost respect, and I will treat you all fairly. I expect you to do the same for me in return. And here's another big expectation. If somebody causes a problem, I will do something about it. Okay? At this time, I'm going to have your substitute teacher pause the video to discuss what should be the right thing to do if somebody that is sitting close to you is bothering you. All right. Like I said, if someone causes a problem, I will do something about it. And then this last expectation is really important. What I will do will depend on what happened and what the student is willing to do to solve the problem. So the consequence that I might give to one student might not necessarily be the same as the other student, because there again, it's going to depend on what happened and what the student is willing to do to solve and fix the problem. All right, now, whenever I am talking or when giving instruction or whenever a classmate or another adult is talking to the class, you are expected to be showing good spark. And I posted the spark videos up above my whiteboard, but the S stands for sitting up. The P stands for put away all unnecessary materials. At this time, I'm going to have your substitute teacher pause the video to discuss what are some unnecessary materials. The A is pretty self-explanatory. Ask questions by raising your hand. And then the R, remain in your seat. And then the K, keep your eyes on the speaker. All right. Hopefully, I will have to give out more rewards for positive behavior than I do have to give out consequences for negative behaviors. But these are some rewards that could take place if you do end up displaying positive behavior. I will give out tornado tickets whenever I catch students that are doing the right thing. So I will do my best to hand those out from time to time. There might be times where I might give out a good news card and send it home if I'm noticing that you're consistently doing the right thing. That's just a good way for me to communicate with your parents and guardians how awesome you're doing in my class. Just like last year, you would get to participate in the monthly incentive and the end of the quarter incentive if you continue to display positive behavior. And then this doesn't happen too often, but keep this in mind, is if I notice that this class is doing so well that the students are very consistently listening and following directions, and the students are very consistently on task no matter where they're sitting, no matter who they're sitting by, I might decide to take away your seating charts if the entire class is consistently following rules. And the earliest that I would consider doing that would be after the holiday season. So keep that in mind. I have done this in the past, but I didn't do it at all last year because none of my classes were able to show me that they can go by without a seating chart. But I have done that in the past, or I've taken seating charts away. Other rewards for positive behaviors. So every single day in class is going to be different. There might be days where you'll do some listening to instruction throughout a good chunk of the class period. There might be days where you will be doing some independent research. There will be days where you'll be doing some research with a partner or with a group. And of course, there will be those days where we do have tests and quizzes. So every day in class, though, you will have an opportunity to earn a class tornado each and every day. Every day when class starts, I will go over the agenda of what's going to take place in class and ask what we can do to earn a tornado. And then at the end of class, we will discuss whether or not we have earned the tornado. And if we didn't earn the tornado, we'll have a discussion as to why we didn't. If we earn 10 tornadoes, then this class will get to participate in a class incentive. Typically, it's an activity that will take place in the last 10 minutes of class the day after you earn your 10th tornado. And so keep that in mind, because if you're consistently following directions every single day, we could end up being able to participate in class incentives about every 2 weeks. So keep that in mind. It is up to you whether or not we end up earning tornadoes on a consistent basis. All right. Now, hopefully this doesn't happen, but if you do display any sort of inappropriate behavior in the class, there are consequences to that negative behavior. And so, one of those consequences could be a warning. A warning isn't quite as big of a deal because a warning is basically a simple redirection from the teacher to the student. No documentation will be needed, so I don't have to write up the behavior online on JMC. And a warning could look something like this, where if you're talking, I might just give you a verbal or nonverbal cue to stop talking, or if you're doing something that you're not supposed to do, I'll probably give you some sort of verbal cue. I may not always say this is a warning, but you should be able to tell based on my verbal and nonverbal cues that you're receiving a warning. And if you do end up fixing that behavior right away, then there really isn't any need for anything else. Now, I will let you know, though, if you are going to receive a minor or a major from me, and hopefully this doesn't happen too often, but I just want to reiterate. A minor is any behavior where I, as the teacher, will document it, and then I will decide on what the appropriate consequence is. Sometimes the consequence could be a conference with a student, it could be a lunch or after-school detention, it could be being sent to a recovery room, it could be having a new seating arrangement in the classroom. I did do that a couple of times last year where I moved a student to a different seat, and a possible parent or guardian contact. So if I do have to write a student up for a minor, I will decide on what the consequence is. The office will not be involved. However, keep in mind that frequent minors can lead up to a major. And hopefully it doesn't come down to this, but if you do receive a major, then you typically will be sent to the office, the behavior will be documented, and the office staff will decide what the appropriate consequence is, whether it be time in the office, whether it be lunch detentions, conference with a student, ed lab, etc., and your parents and guardians will be contacted. Now, this is something new this year, but if you do receive a major, you need to stay after school the following Wednesday for a reflective conversation. This is something new that we're doing this year if you do end up receiving a major. And this is a path to possibly earn your way back toward the monthly and the quarterly incentives. So let's just say you received a major on a Monday. You don't stay for the reflective conversation 2 days from now, but a week from that Wednesday. So keep that in mind. Some safety information, pretty self-explanatory. If we do end up having a tornado drill, then we will stay in the classroom and take cover. This classroom does not have any windows, and so this would be the safest place to stay if we do have a tornado drill. If we do end up having a fire drill, then we'll take a left out of the door and then take a right down the hall, and we'll take the exit doors on the east side of the building, and then we'll line up in the concrete area north of the middle school. And if we do end up having a lockdown behavior, if someone dangerous is outside of school or in the building, the situation will vary. So hopefully it doesn't come down to any of those three scenarios, but just wanted to share that with you. Grading is the same as it was last year. Your goal should be to get a 3 for each learning target, because a 3 means that you are able to show yourself that you're able to do the learning target by yourself and you don't need any sort of help from the teacher. A 2 means A 2 means that you have developed some understanding of the learning target, but not quite all of it, and you sometimes do have to get help from the teacher. And then a 1 is you don't have you hardly have understanding of the learning target, even with help from the teacher. And then this doesn't take place very often, but a 0 would mean no evidence of learning. A 0 would be something like if you didn't write anything on a test or a quiz, or if you had some sort of project that was graded and I didn't get anything from you at all, that would lead to a 0. Here's some other miscellaneous information that you need to know about. If you do need to use a pencil sharpener, there's an electric pencil sharpener at the front table, so please use that. And preferably, I would like you to use that pencil sharpener before class starts. This is something new that we're trying this year, but if you do need to leave the classroom for whatever reason, restroom break, drink break, if you need to go back to your homeroom, if you need to go to your locker, nurse, etc., you have to fill out an e-hall pass on your Chromebook, and you have to have it approved by me or another adult in the building. So make sure you have your Chromebook, and make sure your Chromebook is charged for that. Now, keep in mind that my classroom does not have a drinking fountain, unlike other classrooms. So personally for me, I think it would be a huge waste of a pass if you do end up using an e-hall pass just to get a drink or to fill out your water bottle. Because remember, you only have 3 passes that you get to use each day. So make sure you use them wisely. Also, if you came to class without a pencil, this is what you're expected to do. You need to put one of your items, whether it's a book, Chromebook, cell phone, etc., or any other personal item that you have, put that on my desk, and then trade it in for a pencil that's in the pencil container on my desk. And then when class is over, you can trade back those items. So keep that in mind. All right, cell phones, earbuds, AirPods, and Chromebook usage. This is pretty self-explanatory. Absolutely no cell phones at all in the classroom. So they should either be in your locker or they should be in your pockets. I should not be seeing your cell phones out whatsoever. Same with your AirPods or earbuds. Unless, of course, I give you permission. Because if you are caught with any of those items, they will be taken to the office, and a parent or guardian will have to come and pick them up. During instruction, I do expect you to keep your Chromebooks closed because that shows me that you're paying attention. And then when you are using your Chromebooks for any social studies task, make sure you use the website or the websites that is assigned by me as the teacher. If you do end up getting caught using your Chromebook inappropriately, for example, if you're playing games when you should be working on an assignment, that could result in a minor or major and or a loss of Chromebook privileges. So keep that in mind. Okay, so do you have any questions over my classroom expectations? I know this was a lot of information, but at this time, you'll ask those questions to the substitute teacher, and my substitute will hopefully either answer those particular questions, or the substitute can just write the questions down, and then I will answer those questions on Monday when I come back. So keep in mind, there's no such thing as a dumb question, or if you'd rather ask that question when I come back on Monday, that is totally fine as well. After going through the questions, my substitute teacher will go through Google Classroom and get you signed up on the Google Classroom page. Thank you very much for listening to the Classroom Expectations. I may or may not be having some sort of quiz when I'm back on Monday to see how well you were paying attention listening to the Classroom Expectations. So keep that in mind. I'm looking forward to an awesome school year, and